My name is Charlie King, the Executive Director for the New York State Democratic Party, here at the Republican State Convention. And I'm here because we wanted to make sure that New Yorkers understood what is going on. In a play that is Back to the Future, the Republican State Party has now been completely enmeshed in Nixonian politics, strategy, tactics, and practice. You have Nixon's son-in-law, who selected a candidate, who's a Democrat, by the way, to run for governor in an effort to help Richard Nixon's grandson get a House seat out in Long Island. You have another Nixon operative who's running a candidate's campaign for governor in the GOP. You've got some gubernatorial candidates who are employing Richard Nixon's Southern strategy back when he was running for president by embracing and courting the Tea Party extremists. And you have some candidates, Republican candidates, who are trying to exemplify the Fifth Avenue lifestyle of Richard Nixon. Now, Republican candidates can imitate Richard Nixon all that they like, but we're here to make sure to let New Yorkers know that this is not what we believe is best for New York. It's not what New Yorkers want. They actually want candidates who are going to fight for them and who are going to clean up Albany. And during the course of this Republican convention, Democrats will be here in various shapes, sizes, and colors to make sure that New Yorkers and Republican New Yorkers understand what the situation here is. We are going to let folks know, for example, that Ed Cox handpicked a Democratic candidate to be his choice for the Republican nomination for governor. Steve Levy, if people will remember, voted for Barack Obama, and we have the videotape to prove it. He rang in the new year as a Democrat. He toasted with champagne and chocolates and roses on Valentine's Day as a Democrat, and only a week before April Fool's Day did he turn around and say, you know what, I'm going to run as a Republican. We have another candidate, Rick Lazio, who has literally been bought and paid for by Wall Street. And then we have other candidates who have been embracing sort of the extremism that we find in the Tea Party. The Democratic Party does not believe in people like Rand Paul or Mr. Williams. They have no room in our party. We wish that that were the case here in the Republican Party as well. So during the course of the next few days, we will make sure that New Yorkers get the truth. We hold the Republicans accountable. We set the facts straight. And we're starting right now by unveiling a new website that is www.levythedem.com. And that will give you a very good idea of who Steve Levy actually is. In short, he is a Democrat who was ambitious, and when he found that his ambitions could not be found within the Democratic Party, he threw away everything he professed to believe in and started a whole new life trying to become a Republican. And so we hope that you will look at the website, and we're going to make sure that the Republican delegates get to see that website as well, so they know exactly who it is that they're voting for. We believe in the Democratic Party, for example, that it makes no sense for Ed Cox to be pressuring the rank and file to select his candidate of choice.
Charlie, are you knocking Steve Levy because you think that Lazio would be an easier candidate for Andrew Cuomo to beat?
No, I'm knocking both. As I said, Rick Lazio has been bought and paid for by Wall Street, $1.3 million.
Why the focus on Levy all of a sudden? Why the late focus now on Levy?
Well, it has been the late focus, and throughout we've been focusing on both Levy and Lazio, and during the course of this next few days we're going to be focusing on both of them and all of the candidates.
Charlie, there's a poster upstairs of all the Democrats who have been indicted in Albany or from Albany, state lawmakers and such, over the past couple of months. Aside from the exception of Joe Bruno, it does seem like the scales are tipped pretty far over in your party's direction on Albany wrongdoing. How are they wrong?
Well, wrongdoing knows no political party affiliation. And as you said, it just is convenient for the Republicans that Joe Bruno, who has been convicted, and George Pataki, who actually wrote a letter on his behalf to sort of ease that sentence, is omitted there. That's the kind of truth that we're trying to bring to this debate and this discussion. we recognize that there's a problem in cleaning up Albany. We recognize that we need to do all that we can. We have the candidates to do it. We have the candidates with the record to prove it, and that's exactly what we're going to be doing.
Isn't the problem with people in your own party, though, were the ones in trouble?
The party is with the problem is with both parties. As I said, wrongdoing and corruption knows no political affiliation. The question is which party and which candidates are going to be doing something to clean it up. The fact, for example, that the Republican Party decides to focus solely on Democrats who've had problems and omit Joe Bruno, who ran the state Senate for years, is a telling point as to where the Republicans are in trying to clean up Albany. If they were being honest with New Yorkers, what they would say is, here are all these people who've had problems, but we've had problems in our own party as well. The fact that they try to hide that just goes to show or raises the question what they will hide were they to, in the unlikely event that they were going to win any of these elections.
So it doesn't matter, there'll still be more Democrats than Republicans on that list that you're talking about?
No, I think that the goal here is to clean up Albany regardless of who is doing the wrongdoing. That's what the Democratic Party stands for. You're not sitting here and hearing me say that I'm making excuses. Bold step.
Charlie, Rick Lazio called Andrew Cuomo the establishment. He pointed out that he's been a political fixture for 25 years and said, how can you run as the new Democratic Party when your standard bearer is a guy who's been so ensconced in the quote-unquote old Democratic Party?
Well, I think the facts speak for themselves. Andrew Cuomo is not the establishment candidate. I've not been the establishment director of the party. In many ways, I ran against what the party has stood for in the past in terms of those issues. But Andrew's record is second to none. And, his record on cleaning up Albany, making it work, paring it down, creating a comprehensive jobs program, I'll match that to Rick Lazio's record any day. And what I also might mention is that when Rick Lazio talks about transparency and accountability, he could go a long way by making his tax records available to the public. That would be a good start towards showing transparency.